Before beginning, check out the deposition of the Littlest Umbrella, our newest addition to our Etsy shop, 2 pictures in 1. We also have other additions to our Etsy shop, including limited edition cards, prints, and on. Also, while you're at it, check out the case of the Littlest Umbrella, linked in the description. 2 comic books associated with this with one message: we can defy gatekeepers. More on that stuff at the end of the video. So what a difference a few months makes. I mean, when you look at some of the people that have been involved in this controversy, wow, it's amazing to track them from January to now and to watch some of the changes that they've gone through. So hey there. So today we are returning to that wonderful world of cross-association. We're talking about Twitter. We're talking about anime, we're talking about voice actors in the periphery, and here we find Ron. Now, Ron has been an interesting character because he has had a lot to say over the last few months. In fact, we'll look at a little bit of that in just a moment, just to kind of have a little laugh track toward the end. But while we're getting there, it's amazing what his deposition has brought out. Now, if you go back and you look at his deposition, it's really telling, too, because this guy, he loves to use Twitter. And I mean, this guy loves to use Twitter. And yet now, well, he's going into full crisis mode afterwards. How do I come to that? Well, this is from January. You look at how many tweets the guy has. 8,135. You look at how many people he's following at 229. Followers, he's getting close to 2,000 here. Likes, 57,000.4K. Look at that today now. If we look at that, he's kind of gone into lockdown mode. He has 219 following, so he's actually cut that down. But the major thing here, 154 followers. Now today, he had over double that when I was looking at it before. So like I said, he has gone into full lockdown mode. It's about time too, Ron. I mean, really, you're talking about going out, you're talking about using Twitter, and you're talking about saying some of the dumbest things out there. It's like you can't stop yourself. What would have been a good optic, too, is instead of doing it this way, maybe going out and comporting yourself differently. Going out and not associating with different things. Not letting yourself get caught up in that. But instead of doing that, you continue to do damage. That's why you can't recall. And that's why you can't recall. And you can't recall because you keep saying stuff out there. And this, like I said, this is a move saying that there's desperation. Now, what's really interesting about this move is the fact that Ron seems to think this is going to keep people from seeing. This is going to keep people away from his stuff. But you know what, Ron? What'll really keep people away from it? What'll keep anything from leaking out? People not saying a word. That's right. If you shut it down and you shut it off, then you won't actually have anybody bring it up. But this, it's a crisis move. And well, why do you have a crisis like that? I wonder. So we look back a little bit. You know, I like doing this from time to time just to remind myself what's out there. You know, the sharing of articles, for example. IO9, you know, Charlotte. I'm sure you remember that. Well, here's him, one of anime's biggest voices, accused of harassment. And you see that. Now, you'd have somebody tell him, man, that's a big piece of fanfic there. Ron, I respect that you stand by your wife, but sooner or later you have to realize that she's doing this out of guilt for possibly having, well, you see the theory there. No, she isn't. You all will see, and you have no idea the depth of this. The info in the article is just the tip of the iceberg. Well, where the heck is the rest of the iceberg, Ron? Because when you went out there, you know what I got from that? I can't recall. I don't remember anything that transpired. Hey, I never said any of these words. So where the heck is the rest of the iceberg? Oh, it's you shutting down your Twitter account. Awesome there. He is asking fans to help, to pay for his legal help. Hilarious. I will donate to it to prove a point. I wonder if you actually donated to this too. You know, you actually donating to something to sue yourself and to sue your woman out there. That would be beyond hilarious. Man, if somebody could actually inform that and to say that he did that, oh my goodness. He knows what he did, admits it, and now it's on. Man, it's on. What do you think it's on means, Ron? What exactly did you think with that? Okay, Ron, I hope you donate enough to make it a reality. I can't fight you on this as an outsider, but I can quietly wait for the I told you so moment. One of us will get to say it. I'm happy to wait. Well, if Ron says it right now, you know what? He's locked down by himself in his little bunker of Twitter, all by his lonesome, getting his shields to operate. And make no mistake about that either. We see certain bald-headed lawyer, the drive-by lawyer, tweeting and tweeting and tweeting. And of course, the other guy he's been leaking messages and stuff to, yeah, that guy is tweeting and tweeting and tweeting. It will be epic, it continues. Smiley face, of course. I can't wait for that moment to come. I feel bad for his fans. They ask for it. And when the day comes, I expect a line of people to apologize to Monica and every other survivor. I wonder in this, Ron, by the way, when you're talking about those people that gave a deposition, what about you moving 2 anime fans into your home? What about that? I mean, since, they were people that testified against Vic. What about that? What do you get in that? Do you get an apology as well? Does Funimation actually have something to say? I'm wondering exactly how that plays because it's interesting. So, you see people talking about this. You see the she isn't lying and you were assaulted. You would know what it takes to talk about it. You owe Monica an apology and Vic will get what's coming to him. He's going to get what's coming. You better believe it out there. And then talking about the Vic statement here, no direct apology to Monica or any survivors. General comments, and if people respected his wishes, why are people still attacking her? I think we give the fans what they want, a court battle, and let's see who walks away a registered SCX offender. Let's play that game. Well, again, when you said this and this came back to you, you don't recall saying this stuff. You don't recall. So bravo, Ron. Bravo. I mean, we've seen this stuff again and again. We've actually seen him apparently being told to back off, and at one time it looked like he might. Back in March, it actually looked like he might shut it down. He was talking about most civil cases are settled before ever going to court. If the terms were agreeable, we would settle out of court. So we would actually shut this thing down before it starts. I'm going to talk to my lawyer. I'm going to get all of this shut down. I mean, we see that. This is going to be my last post. This is going to be it. But no, instead of doing that, we had to go to this place. We actually had to shut it all down. I mean, that amazes me. We see all of this. Like I said, we go through, we keep seeing stuff. We see things about people who are not guilty, don't have panels over the years to dispel rumors. I mean, so many things were said. So many promises were made. So many statements about information. But instead of getting those, Ron, and I'm sure that you listen to this, you go with this. So when are we going to get those statements? When are you going to drop that big knowledge bomb? I mean, when is it all coming? Again, if you can't recall anything, you don't know anything about the associated thing. If this is all there is to it, if you're telling me that pool, you're telling me that a shut down Tumblr page and a bunch of freaking leaks in a Google Doc, if that's it, if that's all you have, yeah, then maybe you need to shut it down like this. Maybe you need to shut it down, and maybe, just maybe, you pray that this actually gets shut down by that anti-slap move. Because otherwise, you're in for a long haul. And you know what? Your lawyers, they seem to think that that's what's coming. At least one. Well, if you go out and look at that Dragon Ball, the Tao of Dragon Ball article, yeah, that's what they seem to think. But anyhow, like I said, I thought this was very interesting because somebody with that much internet bravado finding himself in this position, it says something. Maybe it says finally exactly about time, but what's going to be interesting is if it stays this way. But anyhow, you tell me what you think about this stuff. So if you like this kind of content, you want to help the channel out, check out the links in the description. One of those is The Case of the Littlest Umbrella, all ages Lovecraftian tale, plus another comic book associated at one tier. You can check that out because it's one viable message. We do not have to appease gatekeepers. Also, checking these out, like I said, we have our Etsy shop. We have our Can't Remember Objectiform, talking about, well, a certain person out there you might remember. I'd like to know what you think about all of this stuff, too. I mean, when we're talking about it, pro or con, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but I'm curious what you think about this. Also, I want you to check out the fan contest that we're having for art. It'll be at the end of the video. I'll attach that there. And I want to say, before that gets here, I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you empowering these endeavors, and I want to give back. So I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you every time that you show up and help out anything, whether or not you agree. You don't have to. People need to remember that. These voice actors, they need to remember that. As they push you away, well, I'm glad to have you here. So anyway, also to note, here are the fan art contest rules. 3 winners, first prize, $100 plus copy of the book plus a bonus cent. Also, second place, $50. I may be looking at $75 there, not sure yet. And then third place, $50. Now, note what it says under the guidelines here. Now, one thing to consider with this as well, if you have a shop or anything else, I'll talk about it in live stream. If you're a winner, I will also embed that within 2 videos so people can check that out. If you have a project or something, that might be good exposure for you. But when you're looking at submissions, you're giving up the right for reproduction. Make sure you understand that. That includes prints and shirts, but it may also be included in the book for fan art section. Again, the production credit will go to the artist. So again, you get exposure. There's an audience out there, and artists, you know how hard it is to get exposure. Judging lays out, you can see Tug, Peter Gilmore, Kyung Lee, Little Umbrella Girl, Yellow Flash, they get a vote. Live stream audiences, they get 3 votes, so they're pretty much worth how many judges out here. I mean, you've got quite a bit of weight there. Also, the time run is undetermined. Payout, PayPal, or other if needed. So, I wanted to throw that in there. I want to make people understand that this is, again, a way to give back. I want to make sure that people, they actually have something given to them for everything you do. So anyway, I wanted to clarify the rules there. Thank you.